Yeah, I don't ever remember feeling like this. But I'm out here in these YouTube streets. So I want you to get your fingers.
I don't know what you're doing.
I want you to
right
get
now,
your mouse.
I want you to check me out.
And I want you to check me out.
Get ready to do this. It's the relationship rehab. Like, share, and subscribe. We coming at you live. So come on, let's take a ride. Then subscribe to United Guns of America. Just click that link and listen up to what I'm telling you. It's the relationship rehab.
Click that link right now. You know what I'm saying? It's your boy Brian Redmond, and I just want y'all to subscribe to my channel. You know what I'm saying? I want you to let me know what you think. I'ma talk about some things, you can talk about some things, and we can do our thing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's all about having a conversation, right? I mean, if we can't talk to each other, then, I mean, what are we really here for? I want y'all to be able to just come over to my channel, talk to me about what's going on with you, and I can tell you what's going on with me, and we can build some things. You know what I'm saying? That's all about growth, baby. So click that link, go ahead and swipe on your phone, whatever you gotta do. Share my content. It's just get me out here, baby. Cause we just talking, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I like doing what I'm doing because it's about the people. It's about us having a conversation with each other. It's about us discussing whatever needs to be discussed. And on these YouTube streets, this is the best place to do it, baby. Like, share, and subscribe. That's right. Click the link. Click the link. Yeah. I just want to say thank you to everybody that's out here that's already subscribed. You know what I'm saying? Cause y'all ain't the first one, and y'all ain't the last one. So I just want to give a shout out to everybody that click the link, that click the share, and then subscribe to your boy. Cause we gon' blow this thing together, baby. Relationship rehabbing, United Guns of America. To the world blow up, baby. Yeah. Click the link, baby. Click the link, baby. Yeah. Hey, I just wanted to send a shout out to all y'all. I love y'all. That's why I do this. It's for the love of us, baby. I appreciate all of y'all. Ooh, we gon' do this thing. We gon' do this thing right here, baby. Hey, look, if you at a computer right now, just go ahead and click your link. What else you got to lose, baby? Tell me what you think. Hit the comment section. You can jump on the live panel. We do it all here. That's what it's all about. So come holler at your boy. I've been doing this for years, but I just got onto this YouTube thing. So hey, let's see what it do and where it can go.
To United Guns of America. Just click the link and listen up to what I'm telling you, telling you.
That's why I love my mods. I'm sorry. Hey, and look, I'm going to tell you how stupid I am. I'm listening to the show so that I can make sure that my volume and stuff is good. Because I said I haven't checked my volume in a while. So let me make sure that I can listen in and I can hear myself. And I'm just talking and running my mouth and ain't even realize it. But thank you, mods. But I was saying that I have not tweeted in a while and I haven't IG'd in a while. So I said I'm going to do something different and I'm going to put my show up on Twitter and on IG. Well, I'm going to put the link to the show up on IG. Let me do that too. Yeah, I'm sitting here running my mouth and just talking and y'all like, nigga, we can't hear you. I'm glad. And I ain't even got the chat up. I done fucked that up too. Look. What I was also saying was I'd be glad when this show get big enough to where I got some producers that could do all this back end shit for me and I can just focus on the show. I'll be glad when that happens one day. One day. But until then, I'm going to keep doing what I can. And that's, hey, what you got here. So thank you guys for tuning in tonight. And what I did want to talk about is instead of doing a monologue, well, I guess this kind of is, but what I want to talk about tonight is it's a little thing, it's a little movie that I saw finally, and I can take this out my ear now because that's getting crazy. It's the movie The Eternals. Now I know The Eternals has been out for a while, and I know some people have seen it and all that good stuff, but I have not. This was my first time watching it today, and I can tell you this. I'm not a real big Marvel fan. I'm a Marvel fan, but I'm not really big into the comic books. So I don't know all of the comic book stuff. I don't know all of the stuff that happened in the comic books and everything. So this was something that was new to me. I didn't know nothing about the Eternals. So all this was sight unseen. And you know, so I didn't have any expectations. I didn't know what the Eternals was. I didn't know what the hell the Eternals did. I didn't know who they was here for or nothing. So me seeing the Eternals, this was all this first introduction and everything. And as I watched it, I was kind of, I heard a lot of people saying different things about it. They didn't like it and all that stuff. So I said, well, let me give it a good old listening to. And I watched it with a non-biased mind, I guess. And what I did realize, and I had this question, I talked to my brother Easy about this, but I asked this question. And if somebody who is an Eternals fan or liked the movie or whatever, help me with this. Why, with good old Icarus being the most powerful Eternal, just go with me here. Why, if Icarus was the most powerful Eternal, and he was there to serve Aramis, is that what his name was? Aramis, the big red is celestial. If he was there to serve him and do his bidding, he was a faithful follower, loyal. If he was the most powerful Eternal, why didn't he just kill off all of the other Eternals to ensure that the celestial would have emerged? I didn't understand that. That was one of my questions, because once he realized that Jax was like, nah, I want to stop this. I don't want this celestial to evolve, to emerge, and to come about, even though it's going to create billions of lives and generate all of this new stuff for us. I don't want to do it. I want the celestial to stop. But why wouldn't he say, once he killed, because he essentially, well, he kind of led Jax to her death, took her to her death. But once he did that, why wouldn't he just go and kill the other Eternals, except for Cersei, because he did love her. He was in love with her, so I get the fact he couldn't kill her. But why wouldn't he kill the other ones just to ensure that the celestial would have emerged? That was one question. The other question I had was, once this celestial plan to kill the celestial was underway, why didn't the red celestial, Aramis or Haramis, whatever his name was, why didn't he just say, hey, I know what the hell y'all little machines trying to do. Y'all my creation. Let me shut y'all down. Why wouldn't he just stop their ass? Because I'm pretty sure he was quite powerful enough to do it. That was another question. And then I guess my third question was, the divergence, or what was they called? Is that what they were called? The divergence or whatever. Those little monsters, whatever. Why wouldn't Icarus help them destroy the rest of the Eternals, because they hated them too? The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Why wouldn't he do that? I don't know. But then the other thing is, in my last point, these Eternals, as cold as they supposed to be, they were the worst getting their ass kicked superheroes I've ever seen. It seemed like they could never get it together. It was crazy. I didn't get it, but I don't know how this is gonna play into the Marvel universe. I don't know what's gonna happen and where they fit in and all this shit. But this was kind of like a waste of time. It was, to me. Now, unless there's something I'm missing, I would love to be educated on it. But this was, I was like, I'm so glad I didn't go to the movies to see this. because I would have wanted my money back. I just would have. But it is what it is. So if somebody can help me with that later on down the line, I would greatly appreciate it. But I thought that this movie was almost as useless as Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel was totally useless. I hated Captain Marvel. I don't like the actor. I don't like the fact that Captain Marvel is a girl. She was trash. I don't like the other chick too, the red girl. What's her name? I forgot her name. That all she do is fall down some kind of way. She don't have no powers, but she always escapes death, except for the goddamn. It took the life stone to get rid of her ass, the soul stone to get rid of her ass. But she always finds a way to escape death with all around all these superheroes with powers. And she always do the thing where she come down on one knee or whatever and whip her hair back and do that. Black Widow, yes, I don't understand that. I don't. That was a waste of time in movie. The only woman that should have got a movie made for her was the Scarlet Witch, because she actually has powers and she does stuff. But yeah, I don't know why Black Widow got. I don't know, Scarlett Johansson. I guess people just want to see her because she's pretty, but it was not a movie I enjoyed. It was a waste of time. So I'm just saying I didn't get it. I'm sorry, but they could have kept that second, the second or the third Thor, the Thor that was talking about the Black Matter. They could have kept that Thor. They definitely could have kept Captain Marvel, and they definitely could have kept Black Widow. I don't know what they made them movies for, but they just did not matter to me in the whole Marvel Universe thing. But whatever. Yeah, Scarlett Johansson, I don't know how she's lived through all of these Avengers movies. I don't know. I don't understand it. But nevertheless, that's what happened. Other than that, shout out to Kevin Feige. It is what it is. So, without further ado, and while I like my cigar, I'm going to play my favorite part of the show.
Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under baby. 17 U.S.C. 107.
Yes, the Dark World. That was, man, I ain't getting none of that. That dark matter and all that crap, man, that was crazy. That was ridiculous. Yes, they did. And look, all cybersecurity said they literally made fun of her landing on the Black Widow movie. They did. I was like, yeah, she's right. That shit is stupid. It's like, I didn't get it. Now, I will say this, Lewis. I like Shang-Chi. I like Shang-Chi. Again, I don't really follow the comic books. I didn't follow the comic books, so it was all new to me. Shang-Chi was new to me. I liked it. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know about them other ones that I named earlier. I don't get it. And even I don't expect every movie to be great, because even one of the Iron Mans was but I really like Iron Man though. I really like Iron Man, but Iron Man was kind of It was one of them. I want to say it was either the third one or the second one. But it's kind of like yeah, y'all could have kind of kept that one in the can. He didn't necessarily have to make that one. I understand you wanted to lay some groundwork, but maybe y'all could have maybe moved some stuff around and put what happened in that one and in the other one and be all right. But yeah. Yeah. But I don't get it. And I'm going to say this, in all fairness, not trying to be a chauvinist or nothing, but probably I am. But why do they feel the need to make these female movies, these movies where the women they're the lead, but the women don't go see these movies? These women ain't going to see these movies. These women ain't saying, oh yeah, girl, you got to go see Black Widow. Ain't no now I know for black women, they'll get together to go see anything Tyler Perry made. Tyler Perry could make a movie about squirrels on heroin. And if they say it's Tyler Perry, black women are going to show up. They're going to see it. The movie won't make that much, But the gross majority of that money is coming from black women or niggas that's trying to fuck black women that want that's gonna take them to the shows to see it. I'm just saying that's what it is. But most of the stuff that people specifically go out of their way for women, most of them don't even like it. They don't even support it. They just don't. So it's like, why even make it? I don't get it. Not to say you can have a part and then they can have a moment and all that stuff, but why do it? Why spend millions and tens of millions of dollars to make a movie that there ain't nobody really gonna go see? I don't understand it. I do not understand that. But they do. And I guess, yes, the squirrels would have lace front wigs. One of the squirrels would be getting beat by another squirrel. Another squirrel would be getting cheated on by another squirrel. This nigga Tyler Perry. I'm going to say this and I'm going to go ahead and get into the show. Tyler Perry is nothing short of a criminal. Yes, I'm saying it. I'm going to call it what it is. I'm going to say it. Tyler Perry is a criminal. He is robbing the black community blind of millions of dollars. Here's how, and here's why. I myself have seen several of Tyler Perry movies. My wife loves Tyler Perry. Shout out to you, baby. I know I'm about to ruffle your feathers on this. But Tyler Perry movies have the same shit happening in every movie. Just let that marinate for a second. Hear what I said. Tyler Perry movies all have the same shit happening. And I'm going to tell you this. He probably got that blueprint from the soap operas. One of the reasons why I stopped, when I was little, my sister used to watch the soap operas and my mama used to have me record the soap operas on the VCR and she would watch them on the weekends to catch up, girl. And here's one of the things that always happened in the soap operas. Somebody was getting cheated on. Somebody was trying to take somebody's position, whether it's, I want this person's job or whatever. Somebody is sleeping with somebody that's trying to take somebody else's position. Somebody's about to get murdered. Somebody is trapped somewhere where nobody knows where this person is at. And then there's some new person who just arrived and came to the town that has this hidden agenda and don't nobody really know what this person's here for. Every season. Now, who those people are, that could all be true. It's all subjective depending on how it go. But exactly. So who shot JR? It was huge. And then you have usually two women that are arch enemies. Two women that are arch enemies, two men that are arch enemies, and that's how it all plays out. And every season is just shuffled around as to how all of this works and is intertwined. Tyler Perry does the same thing. There's always a woman who's getting her ass beat. There's always a woman who's conniving and trying to take down another woman because she was done wrong some kind of way in some shape, form, or fashion. There's always some gay dude who's hiding his gayness, but wants to but is going to be forced to show his gayness at some point in time. Then there's somebody who's this woman, is always a woman that's trying to come up and trying to make herself into something, but she's just struggling to do it. And eventually she will, whether it's the end of the TV show season or it's the end of the movie. And then you have a good group of these women that are overweight and they all have somehow attracted the finest black niggas in the world. All the niggas in Tyler Perry movies, all of them, with the exception of Mr. Brown, all of them niggas got six packs and find some kind of way to take their shirt off. Please just put in the comment section I'm lying if I'm telling a lie. whether Madia's in the movie or whether Madia's not, and Madia's usually the coach in all of this, telling everybody what y'all need to do is y'all need to start doing this. Because, hello, I don't know what y'all doing and why y'all would do that. I wish a motherfucker would. I wish they would do something. I'm going to pull my gun out my purse. That's essentially a Tyler Perry movie. Please tell me if I'm lying. That's exactly what happens in every one, no matter how you gonna do it. I can do bad all by myself. And it's already got some title like that. The Struggle Blues. Mama gonna make it anyhow. I'm just thinking those shit. I'm being an asshole right now. But it's always some bullshit ass uplifting title. And then in every movie, there's a church scene. There's some pastor that Tyler Perry know that he gonna give a shot to, and some choir that he's heard that he gonna put into the movie. That's what happens. The dialogue is pretty much the same. It's definitely play ready because it's either coming right off of the play circuit or it's about to go on to the play circuit. Either way. And that's it. There's gonna be a gospel section in there. And a bunch of niggas with their shirts off with a bunch of women that's struggling, trying to make it, overweight, and getting cheated on. That's it. And I think that's highway robbery to do that for every movie. I'm just saying. And all of the brothers in these movies, they all struggling. They blue collar niggas. They trying to make it. They just started them a business or they working for somebody, and that's it. Yes, you right, fatherhood, and some famous old lady comes in and helps this shit all come together. Some old lady with money or some kind of way helps all this shit better, makes it all better. Just saying. It is what it is. But without further ado, we're going to move right into the show. And I'm sorry for just calling out Tyler Perry and the soap operas, but y'all should be ashamed of yourselves for what y'all have done over the years. Y'all been doing this shit for decades. Plain and simple. The soap operas have been doing it for over half a century, and it's ridiculous. They should be ashamed of themselves, but they're not because the money's too good. But let's go ahead and let's move on. So, I can recall there being a time during the campaign trail of the 2020 election, once the front runners were established and after the fighting and the bickering and after they shitted on my man, what's the old dude, Bernie Sanders, after they shitted on him for yet a third time, told him he wasn't gonna make it. Old Joe Biden came out front. He was the front runner. He was the guy that they thought could get it done. And the entire blue Democratic Party put in all their chips and ran with Joe, right? And I can clearly remember Joe talking about increasing taxes, redistributing the wealth, and also Joe was saying that, hey, these rich people got to start paying more. And why rich people gonna pay more? His simple response was because they can. And after all of the talk and after all of the saying, hey, well, you gonna do this, and everybody's saying you can't do what you gonna do, and he's saying, oh, yes, I can do it, bitch, because we gonna tax the rich. That was his whole thing. And that was one of the key selling points that a lot of liberal cats and a lot of left people love to hear. Taxing the rich, that's right, because most of the Democrats is poor, so we need our money. And that's what he said, time and time again. And everybody kept saying, on the right, kept saying, you're lying. If you're going to do this and spend the money you're talking about spending, you're going to raise everyone's taxes. So y'all correct me if I'm wrong. And then he got specific towards them last maybe four months. About 6 months, actually. He got very specific. And he said, look, if you make over $400,000 a year, yes, your taxes are going to go up. That's what he said. I remember it clear as day. If you make over $400K, yes, I'm telling you, your taxes are going to go up. That's what he said. He said it. Everybody was like, shit, I don't make over $400,000, so fuck that. And everybody talked about, hey, man, this is going to hurt the small businesses. This is going to hurt the people who's trying to, who's really on that cusp of really blowing up with their business. It's going to hurt them because you're going to be taxing their ass. No, 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 no. Those people are going to be fine. We only taxing those who make over 400,000. Those are the only people taxes going to go up. Okay. So all of the people who did not like Trump, for whatever reason, none of it's factual, but they just didn't like him, they all voted for this man. They all did. They all did. The fact that people went and voted for this man just because that he was not Trump is sad and sickening within itself, but they did. And once he got elected, everybody thought it was going to be all good. Everybody thought, yeah, now we can move forward. Now we gonna get what's coming to us. Biden gonna take care of us. Biden gonna look at the Ice Cube plan. Biden is gonna look at all of the things. He's gonna reform the police department so the black folks won't be getting killed by these white cops no more. That's what he said. And he just said all we need to do for him is vote for him if we black, and we gonna be all right. Yep. Well, I've come to tell you guys that y'all was wrong, and y'all done really fucked up now. So all of the things that I've been saying about this administration and about how things are going, and I'm excited to do this 1 year show coming up. Probably I might even go ahead because I think it's January 20th will make his 1 year anniversary for this administration. Now, y'all remember I did that show for the first 100 days. Actually, I did that show with Tommy. I did that show for the first 100 days. Y'all remember that, right? Well, we coming up on a year. And pretty much, it's been pretty much of the same. There's only been one thing that us blacks didn't got. Anybody tell me what that is? I'll give you a hint. It wasn't something we asked for. Yep, that's what we got. Let's see. If anybody can think of it, anybody just put it in the chat. The one thing that we got that we didn't ask for. Well, we didn't ask for inflation, but we got that. We definitely got that. Yep. They said, well, look, we're going to go ahead and write this legislation. Somebody killed about 4 or 5 Asians, so they instantly wrote a bill and put into law that you can't pinch an Asian, without it being a hate crime. Yes, Jeffrey, gold star for you. 1,000 rehab bucks for you, sir. Yes, Juneteenth. It's a holiday. Government people, and I think the schools across the country are supposed to get it, but that's what we got. Aside from that, we ain't got pretty much nothing else. But I want you guys to see this, and I know a few people have seen this already, but I want you guys to see this, and I want to show you exactly what your president is doing for you. Because this is going to affect all of the people who are watching this. If you know somebody that got Zelle, which damn near everybody does, Cash App, everybody do. What's the other one? Venmo, and PayPal. If you got one of them 4, you in this boat. Yes, you are in this boat. Juneteenth is a national, that's a federal holiday. That's across the country. Everybody get Juneteenth now. Yep. Yeah. But let's go ahead, and I want you guys to see this. And we're going to talk about what they were saying before in the beginning. This was about maybe 8 months ago when they were talking about this. And we're going to see where it's at now.
Sean Duffy. Sean, it's great to have you back on. What do you think of the House now?
Say whatever she wants and is held accountable to her. The next week, they'll probably come back and have elections.
And Sean, New Yorker magazine reporting that Liz Cheney, quote, secret That doesn't look good for Liz Cheney. I want to move on to this.
There we
the
go.
Biden administration, in order to pay for his big spending, they're now talking about giving even more power to the IRS to make banks a tool in the IRS arsenal. It would force banks, possibly even brokerages, to automatically and directly report to the IRS and to the government all of their customers' money flows going in and out of all of their bank accounts and maybe brokerage accounts too. We've never seen this before. They already get our wage information. Do they need this information? But they get so much information in 1099s. Why do they need that?
Exactly. So listen, we want everyone who owes taxes to pay the tax bill that they owe. Now, we all want our taxes to be lower, but if you owe a bill, you should pay it. But the fact that they're going to go take all of this information, the inflow and outflow of your bank information, two questions come up. Number one, if you think back to Barack Obama, what the IRS was doing with regard to the Tea Party and not giving them tax exempt status, they play politics within the IRS, number one. But number two, that's a lot of personal private data that they're not equipped to hold securely. So I think we have a right to privacy. They don't have a place to access all this information. And I think banks should push back. Now, they probably won't, but the American people should push back. They get enough information on us, and we are entitled to just one little sliverless of a little bit of privacy. And by the way, if they think we've avoided taxes, then go get our bank information. But if I'm not a suspect of avoiding taxes, just don't automatically go take my bank information. I don't know what you're going to use it for, and I don't trust you in the IRS.
Yeah, and you're right. You make an important point. The IRS has been abused for political purposes, mostly 90% of the time by Democrats, going back to FDR, happened under Kennedy, happened under Clinton and Obama. Right. And also the IRS has been hacked before. So we got to watch this one. And the other thing, too, Sean, what do you think of this? Biden and Democrats want Biden's infrastructure Green New Deal.
So essentially, that $1.9 trillion deal that they just got done a little while ago, it had in there this. And you know who put this in there? Congress. We have a majority Democrat Congress. So you can't blame this one on the racist Republicans. This is Congress that put this. Is a majority Democrat Congress wrote this and put this in. So to what end? Well, we want everybody to pay their taxes, their old taxes, right? If you got a W-2, you already got that in there. But now they want to know if your account, not a $600 transaction, if you got money flowing, it's a flowing of money. That's $600. If you hit that mark, then they got to turn this in. And what that it's called a 1099K. You don't have to file it. The actual financial institution will file it. So if you're using your Zelle account, you're using your Zelle account at Chase, or you're using Zelle at Bank of America, or your Zelle at Capital One, because all of the banks are using Zelle. If you got a Zelle account, if you sending money to your wife, to your buddy, to your mama, to your cousin, or to your friend, or whoever, once that amount has reached $600, it gets reported. Not the transaction, total transactions. Total transactions. And when you talk about this, when you think about it, it's not a thing of just saying, well, all my money I sent to my mama, that's me giving it to her. That ain't the point. The point is the IRS are now going to say, well, we looking at this income that you've gotten, that you've sent back and forth. We want to know what that is, or what they're probably going to do is just tax your ass on that too. And then it's up to you to fight it. How many people are going to do that? How many people every year when they do all their taxes and they get their 1099, they 1040 together and they do all of that like you normally do with your W-2s and all that, how many people are going to go back and dispute each and every one of those transactions that you've had and justifying them with the IRS? The other thing is, how long do you think that's going to take? The IRS is maybe a fraction of what it used to be as far as size. There are some people who still have not gotten their returns that were electronically filed a year, 2 years ago. There's a huge backlog of tax returns being processed. You try to call the IRS
boy, you're going to be on the phone for at least an hour. Let alone trying to dispute something. Yeah, Curtis Cook says a lot of e-girls are about to be mad. I'm about to go into that part because you got to look at it like this. Number one, why would you want the IRS to know how much money you getting and you spending? Period. Aside from what you work for every day, somebody loaning you money, somebody sending you money. That's what you're going to be taxed on at some point by this law that they have in place now. Just think, your bills run short, or you go to jail, or you get a ticket, and you need your homie or your brother or your mother or your cousin to loan you some money. Hey man, can you loan me $500 so I won't get this boot put on my car? Yeah, I'll loan it to you. When they send that $500 for your tickets, that's gonna be sent to the IRS through your Zelle, through your Cash App, or through whatever. When you get that money, they gonna track that and it's gonna go to the IRS for you too. Why is it important for the IRS, who's supposed to be taxed? This is part of Biden's bill. Why is it so important for them to tax the little guy? Why would you want to tax the little guy? Now, here's the thing, and people will try to tell you this. Well, this rule has been in place. They just changed the amount. You're correct. You know how much the rule was before? It was $20,000. You had to make 20 grand in order for a financial institution to send that to the IRS. So how do you go from 20,000 if you really we want to make sure that people are getting taxed. So if I run my entire business, I got a business and I'm running my business when I'm using Cash App or I'm using Zelle or I'm taking payments through Square Trade or whatever the case may be. If I'm doing that and I'm making over $20,000, I'm already filing an income tax return because I must be a legit business. And if I'm not, I'm barely making enough to where I'm even making any type of money whatsoever. Why would the federal government be so hell-bent on taxing people that are making less than $20,000 a year? You have to ask yourself that. Why would they want to know? Here's another thing. All of this information, all of this data, whether they do something with it today or whether they do something with it 2 years from now, it's all being sent to them. And don't y'all remember when the IRS got hacked? And all of that financial information and all that shit got released? So we talking about a government entity that obviously ain't the most securest in the world. Obviously have been hacked previously, and now all of that information is being sent to them. What you think they're using it for? What you think they're gonna use it for? Why would I want? It's just like in the movie, what's the movie with Frank White in it? Christopher Walken, when he was Frank White. I can't think of the name of that movie. Do you remember when that motherfucker got out of jail and he was like, if it's a dime bag being sold in Central Park, I won't in on it. He meant that by saying, I want my cut of everything. I want it all. King of New York. I think that was, King of New York. That's what it was. Just think about that concept. And if the government wants to know how much you spend, anybody that's making over $600 anybody that's having over $600 in transactions in a digital app, we want to know it. We want it sent to us, and we gonna choose how we tax them. Think about it like this. If I'm a single person, I'm single. I don't make no money. I work at McDonald's or I do whatever. I got a job. If I make less than, I think it's $12,500. If I make less than $12,500, I do not have to even file taxes. They telling me, go ahead and keep that. Go ahead, man. You don't even have to report it. Don't do a tax return. Don't do nothing. That's what they tell you. That's the rule. Now, if I'm And that's anybody that's under the age of 65. If I'm under the age of 65 and I make less than $12,500, I don't have to file income tax. Okay? Now, here's the other thing. If I'm over 65 and I'm, shining shoes or whatever the case may be, I got my shine box. Go get your fucking shine box. If I got my shine box and I'm making twos and fews just to make the ends meet or whatever, you know how much what my threshold is? $14,250. Now, right? If I'm married and me and my wife are making less than $25,000, we don't file taxes. So here's my thing. Why would they want to know how much money you making if it's over $600? I tell you why. Because they want to tax the little man. They want to tax every man, every woman. So here's my thing. And this is one of the main impacts of this. Like I said about the shutdowns and when they did the lockdowns and all of that kind of stuff, the people who suffered the most being shut down wasn't the major corporations. It was the small businesses. That little donut shop, they suffered. That little greasy spoon that's feeding the people. Shout out to my man Rico back in Chicago. He out there, he got his own business. He's literally making dinners, feeding people, right? $10 dinners, $15 dinners, whatever the case may be. How do you think he's getting paid? How many people do at least half of their transactions in cash? Nobody. I know of one person that I can't pay with Zelle or Cash App. One person. All of the other transactions, taking Apple Pay, taking Venmo, taking Cash App, taking PayPal, online and in person. So if they want to know that, they gonna hurt the small businesses. Those shutdowns killed the small businesses. Some of those people got their PPP loans, but that was only to hold them over. It was only something that kept them just for a little bit. The majority of that money, they had to use it, but now you don't have no business because I got to spend all this money to try to stay open, and I got people who don't want to work, who ain't coming in to work because they can sit their ass at home and make more money at home sitting on their ass than they would working for me. So you got that shit happening. Those small businesses are the ones that collapse. Look in your neighborhood. Look at all the small businesses and tell me how they doing. The only thing, and people talk about, well, there was some growth during the time. Yeah, people who was making masks. I get it. People who was doing security because it was so much shit left unattended because people weren't working. But the majority of your small business took an unbelievable hit. So now let's take it a step further. What about the barber who just got his license, who's just starting out? How is he taking his money? Cash App. Hey, bro, come by the house. Cash App me, man. A new barber ain't going to be making no $70,000, $80,000 out the gate, but he about to get taxed on that little 12 or 10 he make. Aegon the First said the major corporations got richer with empty shelves. Yep, the small businesses closed their doors. They did. Amazon business went insane. That dude, all the money he had to give his wife, he made that back and doubled it. 1 year. 1 year. So when you look at the small businesses, the little barbershops, what about the ladies who do hair and do nails? How y'all paying them? Cash App, Zelle. Just Zelle it to me, girl. How many cosmetologists are making money in their homes? And I'm telling you like this, it's not a thing of them trying to get away from the government. They're not making enough to survive, to live. So they need this extra hustle. How many women you know got a job but do hair on the weekends or do hair when they get off? They do nails in their basement. You go over to their house, they do braids on the weekends in their living room. Deluxe 24/7. Shout out, thank you for the donation. He said, now combine this with hokey pokey passports, and the government will know literally everything about your life. Where you going, who you meet, and what you spend your money on. Exactly. My man Rooster says they're losing traditional banking and they can't go after those new internet banking companies. Salute to you, brother. My guy. Now, here's the thing. I'm glad Butter Pecan put this in here. She says, guess I'm going to go back to using cash. I bet everyone start using cash. They would do something to stop that. Here's the thing. We've been so accustomed to getting away from cash. It's going to be too hard to get back to it. Because I'm going to say this, not that you can't do it, but there's so much money you're going to lose because you can't, because you don't want to take Venmo, because you don't want to take Cash App, because you don't want to take it. So it's like now the cash that you going to get, here's the thing. They're reporting your bank account information. You still making these withdrawals and these expenditures. All I'm saying is it's too goddamn invasive and it's hurting those little people. The ones that the Democrats are supposed to be fighting for. The ones that you hear all of these politicians talking about. We fighting for the little guy. We fighting for those who can't afford this. We fighting for those who can't afford that. We're fighting for those who need help. Well, I would imagine that a small business owner who's just starting, let's say I just started making t-shirts and I'm selling my t-shirts. How do most people advertise their businesses today? How do most people advertise their business? Online. You set up a store online. You set up that store online. How are you going to get your payments? Either through a bank account or through a digital cash app. A cash app, PayPal. It's all through there. So what I'm going to do, set up my t-shirt business on Facebook. Tell everybody to go here to this website to get their t-shirts or whatever the case may be. I was just talking to my brother Easy today about it. I want to start doing some relationship rehab t-shirts and all that kind of stuff. But it's like if I go and do that, how are people going to pay me? My clientele, my customers, my supporters, all my subscribers are online. Hey, y'all, mail me $25 and I'll mail y'all shirt. I can't do that. I cannot do that. So I'm now forced to use digital payment. And that digital payment is going to get taxed. That's the problem with this. And I'm telling you like this is one of the most egregious things that people don't really realize it now, but this is going to affect everybody. They are literally, and I'm telling you what it is. It's an effort to do one thing, to get you on your knees. Yeah, I just got a little bit of ash in my eye. I'm good. Thank you. Appreciate you. Appreciate the concern. I'm good. Happens all the time for smoking cigars. But that's what it is. So now small businesses that are just starting out are going to get taxed even more. Most small businesses within the first 5 years make little to no profit. They are literally the ones that say, hey, man, I'm barely making it. I'm taking a loss. When they file their tax returns, they usually file it with a loss. And once they file it with that loss, what is the IRS going to do now? They're going to look at this bank statement and they're going to look at all of those transactions, the ones that are good, the ones that are bad or questionable, whatever, and they're going to tax the whole thing. Because it's going to have a breakdown. If you look, Google 1099K on the internet. This form has been around for the longest. And what it does is it simply tells you how many transactions you've had from your bank, how many transactions you've had, and it also tells you each month how much went in and out, how much went out. How much came in every month? Every single month. And I'm telling y'all, all that shit that y'all keep believing, thinking that all these white racist Republicans are trying to do y'all in, they not the ones, y'all. These people are y'all good old voting Democrat ass motherfuckers. These are the same ones that y'all keep in office, voting for them just because they got a D next to their name. They coming for all y'all money, including mine. They're coming for it. They want to tax every small guy they can. Why? To help pay off their 1.9 trillion. So when you go back and look at my show that I did, where they talked about the spending in that bill, in those bills, when they sending $22 million over to the Philistines, when they sending $40 million to Pakistan for transgender research, they coming for y'all money to pay for that. Wow. I forgot about that, Calvin. How many niggas y'all know? And I'm telling y'all, all y'all know these people. The barbers, the hairstylists, the nail technicians. How about them niggas that sell shoes online? I got a shoe business. If you a sneakerhead and you selling shoes, how you get your money? They gonna know about it. They gonna know about it now. This is beyond just fucked up. This is, hey, we are coming to put our hands around your throat and we gonna determine how much air you breathe and we gonna determine when you get to breathe. Bend the knee. Bend the knee. And I'm telling you like this, they say you'll hear in the legislation in the stuff, well, when you look at it, those transactions that are done with family members and things like that, they're not taxing those. But yeah, how do they know that? The IRS is not robust enough to figure that out. So what are they going to do? Well, we'll tax everything. And then if you want to dispute it, you can. How long does that take? Who do I get to do it? How do we know to do it? How do we know how to do it? You have to really be concerned about this, man, because this is one of those things to where it's going to affect all. This ain't about color. This is about class. Now, you constantly hear, if I'm a millionaire, multimillionaire, and don't even get into the billionaire, but if I got money, I got CPAs. I got an accounting team that will get me around all this other shit. So the banks can have my transaction, but I'm making so much money I can pay someone to get me around all this. That's how a motherfucker like Jeff Bezos didn't pay no taxes. I ain't hating on him, but that's how he did it. Somebody, what did Maybelline's World say? I don't know if you know what coquito is. I don't, but I used to make it and I went out of business. I can't even sell one bottle, but yet people want it free. Hell no, I just don't make it anymore. What about all of that? I mean, it's going to affect everything, man. People avoid taxes all the time. And you can do that when you get money. And my thing is, I'm not saying we all need to be trying to avoid taxes and all that. All I'm saying is those people that are barely making it, why are those people now being taxed and inconvenienced and put through the ringer when they don't have the resources to actually get a fair shake with their taxes? Because my thing would be, the fair shake would be, hey, you making over 20,000 in these cash apps and all that stuff, or you pulling in over 20,000, fine. We get it. You go ahead and you do your thing. You got to pay something, because most companies that are making over $20,000, unless your ass selling dope, you know you got to be filing some type of return, because if you making over 20K, then that means that's what you're doing. That's your job. So you probably already got your LLC set up. You already got your business account set up. Look at it like this. I just got a business account, a business bank account where I can literally track all my monies that's coming in and out for the relationship rehab. I just got it. You know why? Because I just got to the point where I was like, okay, this money, it's making a bit of a difference in my account. So it's like, okay, yeah, I need to start tracking this. I need to start watching this. I need to go ahead and really get legit because I can now afford some of those things to where I can actually be a functioning business. Somebody who just started YouTube to get last month, they ain't gonna be in that position. Cause you have costs. You gotta file with the business, your state business license. Then you gotta get all of your shit legit. You gotta pay to get your LLC. You gotta pay to get all of those things that you need to get, securing your name, your trademark, your logo. All of that stuff costs money. Most businesses, if you just go get to a point to where you can actually do business. I'm actually a legit business. I got my EIN number. I get to that point where your company is a separate entity from your personal life. Man, that's going to take the average person anywhere between $3,000 to $5,000 to get that shit set up. To where you truly legit, like, hey, all of this shit that I got going forward, I'm actually a legit business. You don't have all that money to drop at once, so you got to do bits and pieces. And it's a cost, but they have that cost in place for those people that are actually doing business. And even if you don't know what the hell you're doing, being under $20,000 and not having to file that shit or not have to worry about that shit being taxed or you getting a letter from the IRS, that makes it to where you like, damn, okay, I can at least survive. Think about this. Your average person, your average guy that just starts their own barbershop. They ain't got no place. They ain't got no spot. They can't afford to pay rent in no building now. Why is that? Because rent is through the roof. Real estate is going up. So I get my local little shop. I got me a little hole in the wall. I'm using my garage. Let's just say that. I'm cutting hair out my garage. I ain't making that much money. I'm just not. And that's exactly who the government is now going to be taxing. Your homeboy, your cousin, your brother that you go let cut your hair. Giving them that $35 every couple of weeks or every week or whatever the case may be. It's like you doing all of that and then what? Now I might have to be getting taxed on it. You don't know how much they gonna tax you, but you damn sure better believe they gonna get it. And it's gonna be up to you to make sure that you tracking it and keeping track of it, because here's the other bad part. You don't want to get audited. I've been through that shit. You do not want to get audited by the IRS because they just gonna come with an amount and say you owe this, and it's up to your ass to prove that you don't. Most small businesses, most companies that's just starting out, they don't have the resources. And a lot of times, I'm just going to call it what it is. They don't have the know-how to do it. They don't have the business acumen to get through that kind of stuff. So most people just going to pay the shit and be like, fuck it, man. I don't know how to do this shit. What I'm going to do? Go to motherfucking, what's the place called? The Jackson Hewitt tax service. Yeah, they can do it for you, but they going to tax you. They going to tax your ass. I remember when I first started filing my taxes, I went to Jackson Hewitt. I brought home my income tax return. This is when I had just started out working, so I was single, so yes, they getting more money. I had just started. I went to Jackson Hewitt to get my taxes done. My income tax return was $700. I had made like $26,000 that year. My income tax return was $700. Ask me how much Jackson Hewitt charged me. It was like 175 or 195. It was almost $200. So that $700 return that I got because I got taxed by Jackson Hewitt, I brought home $500. I say, man, this is fucked up. $500. This is one of those things where everybody should be pissed off. This should be on everybody's timeline. This should be on everybody's radar. Y'all need to be calling y'all congressmen saying, man, what the fuck did y'all do to us? Y'all fucked us over. And I'm going to tell you, the Republicans was the ones that was fighting against this shit. But we see how it all turned out. You see how it all turned out. Let's check this out.
Firmly against this, but you don't seem to mind it.
Well, I mean, I don't, and I'll tell you why. Because I think one thing you said is not accurate. It's not that the IRS would collect transactions of $600 or more. It's that for bank accounts that have at least $600 in them, the bank would be required to report at the end of the tax year the total number of deposits and the total number of withdrawals.
Now this was in the
IRS.
God damn, I can't pause this shit. This was in the beginning. This was like 8 months ago when they was first talking about it.
It's not that they would report transaction level data.
And y'all let me know if this video is too loud. I'll turn it down some more.
But I don't. My understanding of this proposal, and it is just a proposal. Congress would have to ratify this. My understanding of the proposal is that it does not do that.
Did y'all hear that? So this was Biden's plan. Congress had to ratify it. And guess what? They did. They did.
All right, Ethan, at the same level, how much information are we going to give to the IRS on this slippery slope?
Yeah, I think it's problematic, even if it's at that aggregate level like Ian just mentioned, that still is problematic because as we know over these last 10 years of social media companies, metadata matters, and the ability of the government to use that metadata, if it's at the metadata level, is deeply problematic. And I see it as a further encroachment of our Fourth Amendment rights that has been
right, Amanda. That broke motherfucker sitting there in that empty ass room looking like he got his bed on the floor on some goddamn cinder blocks. No pillows or nothing. Talking about, well, I don't see this being too bad.
Happening steadily and being eroded over the last 20 years anyway. But overall, I mean, look, again, if we're going to get tax cheats, let's get them, but let's stay focused on who we think the cheats are. Let's not just do a wide net and vacuum up all the data on Americans in databases I'm not confident will be secured.
Thomas Honig, speaking of the not secured, you just have to look at the ProPublica leaks of all sorts of famous people's bank.
Somebody caught it. I was going to see if somebody was going to catch it. Miss Nobody says Meta. Talking about metadata. Facebook wants to change their name to Meta. Yes, they've changed their name already. It is now Meta. Because here's one of the things. Here's the thing. Facebook, Google, one of the two largest metadata sources in the fucking world. You remember when it first started? When you be talking about something or searching for something like on Facebook, not on Facebook, but on Amazon, or you'll be searching for something in Google, and then it would start popping up suggestions of what you look for in Facebook. This is all Jeffrey Butler. This is all banking institutions. All banking institutions and the apps. Any digital app that's moving money, they're included in all of the banks because all of the banks transfer money using Zelle. Yeah.
Records to know that it could happen to anybody. This is what Thomas Honig had to say over on Fox Business. Take a listen.
Thanks, Mick.
It'd still be incredibly intrusive. And it's a massive search without a search warrant. I think it really will cause the public to have even less trust in our government institutions, because very simply, if you're intruding into everything, you want to avoid that. You become very cynical about the rule of law, and I think it undermines confidence of the American people in its institutions.
Ian, I'm seeing a skeptical look on your face.
Well, yes, because for one thing, the proposal, I don't know what our friend Ethan means when he says the government is collecting metadata. It's collecting basically two numbers: total number of deposits, total number of withdrawals. The other thing that's strange from the clip you just played is it has been settled law for like 50 years that actually.
Now, see, this is where he thought it was, but now we see what it actually is. This is exactly what it is. He's trying, well, they've been doing this for over 50 years. Yes, if you made over $20,000. And all I'm saying to everybody is think about it. Who does this affect the most? Do you think if I'm Jeff Bezos, you think I give a shit about my transactions that I'm sending money back and forth to? No, because I'm a fucking corporation. I got people that will fix this shit. When I file my taxes, I got people that's going to circumvent all this shit. I'm good because I have the resources to get around it. I'm Donald Trump. I got resources to get around it. For every dollar you trying to tax me on, I got an expense that I can write off to circumvent it. I do. That's just how the game goes. So you want to tax me on this side, but I'm going to go right back on this side and tell you how this is costing my business something, and this is why I'm writing it off. So that money you as far as the government is concerned, that money they getting, I'm getting it right back, and it's pretty much a wash. It's a zero. Y'all going to tax me for this $10,000 I sent, but I'm going to spend $10,000 in expenses, in dinners and lunches and all that. I'm going to tax that and put that shit right back in it. So it's a zero.
It is not a Fourth Amendment search to acquire even transaction data from banks. Now, I actually think that's wrong. I think that position is wrongly decided and should be overruled. But it is just not the case that there is a significant intrusion on privacy here, because remember, you have to report your income, all of it, to the IRS already.
Yes, you do. And it's reported through your W-2 if you make over that threshold. So think about and that's why I keep saying this is a small business killer. This is an independent entrepreneur killer, because now you're making everybody that's starting out. Now, and these are I'm just talking about businessmen, entrepreneurs that's just starting out. This information is going to the government. Now, how about the average everyday person that ain't no business entity? How about that? How about those people? They're still getting that information. They are still getting that information. So you go and tell the IRS, I only made $41,000. The IRS gonna say, yeah, that's what your W-2 say. However, here's what the banks reported from your 1099Ks from PayPal, Cash App, and Venmo, and Apple Pay. They said that you had transactions totaling over $62,000. So we, as the federal government, yeah, you talking about this 41 you made, but we have a total of 62. So unless you can prove otherwise, Mr. Redmond, you need to pay taxes on $62,000. That's your tax bracket. Well, I was sending my mama money, and my mama was sending me money because she was helping me and I was helping her because we both live in the same. I understand that, Mr. Redmond, but you still have to pay on it. It's income. Hey, you know what? Jeffrey Butler said, I'm not going to listen to a man with a half made up bed and has no pillows. I wouldn't either. But this is what the average person is thinking. That's right. Oh, that's all they saying. Nope. That ain't all they saying. It's more to it.
And I don't know where you'd be putting that income other than in your bank account.
Well,
So
I guess
it's
the question is,
unclear to
Ethan,
me.
is this going to just lead people to start putting more money under their mattresses?
Yeah, well, I mean, it does drive some people away and back toward either a cash economy that we've seen has been slowly eroding because it's convenient. It's easy for me to use my check, my debit card, my credit card for everything, my PayPal account, whatever that might be. But there will be some people who will be see this as a major problem. And Ian and I must have read this slightly differently because I didn't see it as just a transaction count. I saw it as transaction volume and dollar amounts that were included.
He is correct. He is correct. It is not, oh, it's just that's it's total. Every year, there's going to be a 1099-K filed for all of your banking transactions because it's more than $600. So unless you send $50 to your grandmama once a year for her birthday, they ain't gonna report that. But if you send $50 to your grandmama, $50 to your niece, $50 to your cousin, $50 to your brother, $50 to your auntie, $50 to your other cousin, and it totals up to over $600. Not in one transaction, but total, it's reported. It is reported.
In that. So maybe we need to get clarification on what they were proposing. Remember, the Democrats have actually pulled back on this in Congress anyway, and we need to keep the focus here. The point is of all of this is to get the tax cheats. We have the most complicated tax code, 75,000 pages roughly, and it is ripe for very smart lawyers, very smart accountants, those with the means to pay those smart accountants and lawyers on how to maneuver around our tax laws so they're not paying what they're supposed to be paying, at least in terms of our tax rates. And Congress refuses to address that.
And here's the thing. It's like when you look at all of this that's being calculated, why do you think who would want their government to know what you buying and what you spending? Who wants their government to know this? Why do people think it's okay for the government to know how much money I'm spending and that I'm transferring in and out of my bank account that's over $600? They're going to know what it is. I don't want the government to know that I'm cash apping a bet on the game to see if the Bulls go win the championship or not. I'm just saying, if I'm one of the alphabet people and I'm buying me some new lingerie because I want to be sexy under my work clothes and I'm sending money to Adam and Eve or I'm sending money to Lover's Lane, they gonna know. They're gonna know. Your government is going to know what you spent and where you spent your money. Just like when you just think about it like this, when you go into your bank app, you go into your Chase, your Bank of America, your Capital One, your Wells Fargo. When you go into that account and you look at your transactions in your statement, that's what they're getting, y'all. It's not just the number, they're getting your statement. On the 1099, it'll have what went in and out every month because it's over $600. And then they're going to actually get your statement to see, oh, okay, he spent $1,400 at Best Buy. I don't want my government knowing that I bought a brand new MacBook or bought my daughter an iPad. My government shouldn't know that. That's fucking insane. Do you understand what this means? And I'm telling you, it's just the beginning. Because when they need more money, guess what they're gonna do? They're gonna tighten the screws on you. Because I already got you in the brace. I just need to tighten the screws a little bit more. Raise the percentage. How about that? Right. They're going to know your gun purchases. They're going to know your ammo They're going to know it all. How many things that you buy throughout the year using your digital wallet? How many things do you buy every year? Even if you have multiple bank accounts, it's all going to the IRS now. So you just wait till next year because it just started January 1st. You just wait till next year when all this information gets sent to the IRS and what they're going to do with that data. They already got your job reporting what you're making. Now they're going to get everything. Ooh, yes, sir. Amazing. Amazing. Crypto purchases. That's going to be in there. The money you get coming and going out of, coming and going. Shout out to my boy Tommy. The money you got going in and out of your Robinhood account. That's a banking institution that's tied to that. The money you got going in and out of your Coinbase. They're going to know.
That's the huge elephant in the room is why do we allow the wealthy to continue to evade our tax policies instead of going after every single American, which is what this other proposal seems to be doing?
Ian, as I read it, maybe you're both right, but that at some point, if you have more than $600 in your account or if you transact more than $600 at any time during the year, then the bank has to report to the IRS your data. They already do report interest on your account if it's more than $10 in interest over the year. But doesn't Ethan have a point here that the IRS is big enough as it is? Do they really need more information on us?
Well, this actually would help the IRS get smaller because what this is an alternative
but that's not what's happening.
audits.
But that's not what's happening.
Not what's happening.
They're proposing to add to the IRS.
No, this would subtract the number of people you need at the IRS because this is an alternative to audits, which take a lot of people. This is an ability to get those tax cheats.
It's all an algorithm. It's all an algorithm. Right. I saw somebody in there put in their OnlyFans. Think about all of the women on OnlyFans. They gonna know. They're gonna know what it is. Everybody that's paying a monthly fee to OnlyFans that's coming out of your bank account, it's gonna know. So those people that are online, y'all sending money to the Instagram models, hitting their Cash App, they're going to know. And here's the thing. What he's saying is that if the IRS is going to be smaller, it doesn't matter if they're smaller or larger. Computers can process this information. Why is that? Because it's a 1099K. It has your social security number on it. This person with this social security number has 8 bank accounts. Those 8 bank accounts have transacted over $4,000. Okay, we're going to tax that. Well, why y'all just tax me on the $4,000? Y'all don't even know what that money is for. You got to show us something different. It's income. That's how we look at it, sir. It's not about it's not about what you're saying as far as the government intercepting everything we do online and on our phones. Yeah, but it ain't a 1099 being submitted for it. Y'all don't understand. You're missing the point of what the 1099, what a tax form is. It's for you to be taxed. I don't care if the government knows what I'm getting. I give a good goddamn though if the government's going to tax me on what I'm getting.
Was talking about without having to individually audit so many people, which requires a lot of manpower. I don't have a problem with people working for the tax collectors. I mean, I don't like paying them any more than you do. But if you want to get tax cheats with as few IRS employees as possible, you want data like this rather than having to manually audit.
Interesting argument, although the current bill includes an enormous amount of money, tens of millions, if not more, to hire additional agents for IRS enforcement. So go with that.
It does, although that's separate. That's true, but that's a separate matter, and you could split those up.
Rarely is anything split in D.C., especially these days, but fair point. Ethan, Ian, good to see you both. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
All right.
When you look at this, and even when you talk, niggas say all of Kwame's donations, right? All of Kwame's donations for felines and for the shoes getting taxed because people sent money, essentially, in just theory, the money that people sent for shoes for Kwame, that money is going to get taxed now. Unless you got a 501c3 saying these were donations that went through my 501c3, and I have to show that and track that. I have to be able to show that. How many people have 501c3 set up? I'm telling y'all, this shit is big for the little guy. It just really is. It really is. This is big for the little guy because your government is big at the behest of your president has now set it up to where they know everything that you're doing and they know exactly how much more they can tax you on. So what they're going to do, and just my theory, because I don't think they're going to attack everybody, but what they're going to do is they're going to create another tax bracket. I mean, not tax bracket, but another tax stream, another stream that they can use to tax people on. If they average out and say, hey, based on the metadata that we have that shows all of the transactions of the American people, did you meet Shuri Demand? iPhone? There we go. Right. There go another tax right there that's showing me what's happening. Listening in to what I'm saying. Thank you, Siri. You dirty bitch. But when you look at those transactions, they'll be able to say, okay, we've been missing out on approximately $1.5 trillion in taxes. Let's start taxing them now. If we break it down and say, okay, every American is going to now start paying an additional $500 in taxes. $600 in taxes. Yeah, that ain't shit for the guy that's making money, but how about the person who just started their business? Another $1,000, $3,000, $5,000, $6,000. That's the point with this. This is one of those things to where this is just beyond egregious. This is like literally, I told y'all we coming for y'all. And now I'm about to show y'all how we coming for y'all. That's all this is doing. Let me make sure I got this one. I think it's one more, two more. Hang on. Hold everything. Turn that off. Turn that on. We saw that one. Then let's see about this one. Yeah. So check this bitch out. This was a short one. The other two are short. But all I'm saying is you can't be cool with this. Nobody can be. Yes. R.A. Williams said, aren't they taxing tax money? Yes. This is in addition to. They want everything.
To follow up on some of the tax talk, there's this new proposal by Democrats in Congress and the Treasury Secretary to start monitoring every bank account that has $10,000 of cash flow per year. So is the plan to catch billionaire tax cheats by snooping on accounts that just have $10,000 in them?
Well, that's not exactly an accurate description. So let me help you with an accurate description of what is actually happening here. And there was a statement by the Secretary of Treasury on exactly this. Where she said in this statement, so just to reiterate, she deeply appreciates the work of Chairman Wyden and Chairman Neal's leadership on reconciliation and in particular the need to close the tax gap. At the core of the discrepancy in the ways types of income are reported to the IRS are opaque income sources frequently avoid scrutiny, while wages and federal benefits are typically subject to full compliance. So people who get W-2s, whether they are teachers, firefighters, employees at Fox News, anywhere where they may may be getting a W-2, that's not what we're talking about here. They're already reporting their income. We're talking about high net worth individuals who are not paying the taxes they owe, and that's what this policy would propose to address.
Now, that's what this was 8 months ago. That's what she said about it. How does that turn into, because it was, you heard him say $10,000. How did you go from 20,000 to what it was and what it's been for over 50 years, right? How do you go from 20,000 to 10,000 to now 600? That was the plan all along, y'all. That's what it was about from the giddy, from Jump Street. It was about that. The fact that they said, hey, look, we just going to do for 10,000. People that's making 10,000 or more, they got 10,000 in their accounts. They just said for people who got 10,000 in their accounts, to now it's $600 in total transactions over a year. She read that statement with ease. Why? Because number one, she knew the question was going to be asked, because you don't get to just throw questions out at them. Yes, Solomon King, sounds like taxation without representation. Absolutely. Which is against the Constitution. But when you got your good old congressman writing this shit, and when you got your good old House of Representatives, they put all this shit together, and then when you got your tie-breaking Democrat vice president voting this shit in, this is what happens. This is what happens.
The statement that you just cited, it says many top earners avoid paying billions in the taxes that they owe by exploiting the system. So why is it that you need to start looking at accounts that just have $10,000 in it? Maybe somebody doesn't get a W-2.
That is not exactly what it does. The $10,000 is anything under that would not be applicable, nor would people who receive W-2s, Peter. What we're talking about here are people who are high net worth individuals who are not paying the taxes they owe, something we think everybody believes should happen and can help pay for in a range of important investments to make us more competitive.
To follow up on some of the tax talk.
That's essentially what she says, right? That's what she said then. What is it now? Yes, Smitty, you gave him an inch, they take a mile. Give a nigga a rope, they want to be a cowboy, Gus. And I'm going to tell you like this. You know, I can't stand her either, but she is basically doing their bidding. Go out here, don't answer these questions, just say this. That's all she does. That's why I usually don't even watch her. I just got this because this was something that was talking about it, and I just wanted to see what she was going to say. And when I saw it, I said, see, she was lying then, and she's going to lie now. She's lying now. Because what this started out to be and what this actually is, it's worlds apart. And please click them like buttons. We got 152 people watching and 105 likes. Let's get them likes up. Come on, y'all. And y'all can still hit the cash app, because I'm telling you, this is some good information. This is something you need to give to your friends, your cousins, your aunties, and show them, say, hey, listen to this nigga talk about this shit. She is a certified deflector. Certified. We're going to watch this one, and then we're going to get you up out of here. Y'all let me know if y'all got any questions or anything else, and we'll move on. And I'll wrap this up. If I can get the damn thing going. There we go. Now, this is what I just got the other day.
They're handy apps that make it easy to split dinner, pay your share of the bills, or gift a pal some green. Cash apps like Venmo, Zelle, and PayPal are also convenient for business owners who can collect payment in just a few clicks.
The gig economy has changed.
Shout out to Nikki. Thank you for hitting me up with $10.
And because of that, the IRS is trying to keep up.
The American Rescue Plan Act of 2021 passed.
Oh, also shout out to my man Derek J, who hit your boy with $50 yesterday. I appreciate it, brother. Thank you so much, man.
Back in March, and it modifies the IRS reporting requirements for transactions using these cash apps. When the new rule takes effect on January 1st, the apps will notify the IRS when payments top $600, triggering a 1099 form to be sent out.
Regardless of the means of payment, if you're engaged in a business operation of any type and you receive payment, you're supposed to report it to the IRS, even if you hadn't been getting a 1099 of any type before.
It's not a new tax, But some business owners have been getting away with keeping more money in their pockets since the apps haven't been reporting to the IRS until transactions hit 20 grand.
It would definitely result in more people reporting income on their tax return. I'm sure there are people that are tempted when stuff isn't reported to the IRS to just not include it. So it will encourage compliance.
Cracking down.
He's using the wrong word. It's not encourage compliance. It's forcing compliance. Shout out to D Cole. Hit your boy with $3. Thank you so much. Thank y'all for hitting that cash out. That's what's up. And I don't want nobody messaging me talking about, man, I didn't want to hit your cash out because you was going to be taxed. No, let me worry about that. I figured that out. Go ahead and hit it. But that's my thing. It's like, it's forced because it's not you submitting. It's not you submitting. It's the financial institution submitting this. They sending this no matter what, homie. No matter what.
Down on self-employed workers who are making income through the apps, not your personal use. But the line gets a little blurry when the same Cash App account is being used for both personal and business transactions.
They don't have any way of knowing whether you have your own individual side business or regular business that's just in your personal name.
They're just trying to track who's getting paid where, and if it's actual income, they want to tax it.
You'll start seeing 1099.
There it is. You see that right there? Look at it. You can see it clear as day. Matter of fact, let me move this up and make it a little bit bigger, just in case, somebody's watching from their phone or something like that. Let me make this a little bit bigger and just point this out real quick, what they're showing you. Do you see that? There's your name and all that stuff. There's your filer's 10 and your payee's 10 and all that, right? Here's what they're going to do right there. Card not present transactions, dollar amount. Number of payment transactions, federal income tax withheld, it's going to be 0 for January, February, March, April, May, for the entire month. This is what the government's going to get. Payee's name, payment card or a third-party network. You see that? There's your address, your name, and everything. PSE's name and telephone number. Oh, this shit is ready. But this would only apply to someone who made over $20,000. Now, it's anybody who has over $600. $600. And old Uncle Sam is going to know what's happening.
Reporting Cash App income in January of 2023. Catherine Hawley, Fox 13 News.
There it is. So whatever you sending money for and whoever you're sending money to, there you go. They're going to know. And I'm telling you like this, anyone, and I mean anyone, that don't think that this is too invasive, you're a fool. If you don't think that they're going to find a way to tax you more money on what it is that you got coming in and out, you're a fool. You send your kid some money. You putting your kid in the government. You putting your kid information out there. How many of y'all get children that's in high school, that's in college, that you sending money to? You got a niece in college and you want to send her $50 or whatever for a birthday, or she call and tell you, look, I'm struggling. I ain't got no money. I done ran and ate my last pack of noodles. You send her $100. She's going to accept it. And they're going to put in a 1099 for her and your ass. Thank you, R.A. Williams. Hit your boy with I just saw your cash out. Thank you so much, man. This is something that I'm telling you, it is just the beginning. It's that thing that they're going to use to break all of us that are independent, all of us that are entrepreneurs, all of us that are the simple, everyday working class. So all that shit that Biden and Kamala was telling you, talking about, yeah, we gonna help y'all. We gonna redistribute the wealth. Everybody eyes lit up when they heard that, redistributing the wealth. Hell yeah, I want my piece. The billionaires are making too much money. The billionaires and the millionaires, they the ones getting all the money. We're going to get some of that back to the people. How, Sway? How y'all going to do that? We're going to tax them more. And then what y'all going to do with the money? It's going to come back to the government. No, that's not true. It's not a thing of saying, for as long as I can remember, any amount of money taken from one source that is over $500 had to be reported on a 1099. It had to be reported. That doesn't mean it was. It's just like if you go to the currency exchange. Do you know if you go to the currency exchange and you can take out you can get a money order for anything less than $10,000? A lot of people that are street pharmacists and that's in the dope game, they used to do this. The way to keep your money, in places to where, your money just ain't in cash. You go get a money order and you get that money order for $9,000. That's what you would do. Take your cash, go get your money order for $9,000. They don't report that. If you went and deposited less than $10,000 into a bank account, that bank did not report that to the government. If you now, based on that law, here it is, that same $9,990 or $999 that you could deposit into a bank and it wouldn't get reported to the federal government. Not anymore. For the entire year, self-made, total transact is, yes, it is $600 total one transaction. No, it's accumulated for the year. If you get over $600 total, going back and forth through Cash App, Zelle, Venmo, PayPal, Apple Pay, if it's more than $600, they telling, essentially. They snitching. Right. Amazon said need more money to bail out the big commercial banks. It's ridiculous, man. This is one of those, and I'll wrap it up with this. This is one of those things where when I've said this for at least the past, 3 years? The Democrats, the liberals, I get it. Y'all got y'all thing. Y'all want to do things y'all way. But here's what the Democratic government wants from you guys. They want you living on your knees. Shout out to Baker Bill and hit your boy with $3. Thank you, man. They want you on your knees. I want to give you what I want you to have. Everything else is coming to me. Everything else is coming to me. I'm getting some of it, if not all of it, if not the majority of it. I'm getting another piece of what you get. So do you get taxed if you're the sender? Think about it like this, 402 food guy. Here's the thing. It's not about the money you're getting. It's the money flow. It's the money trail. They're looking at what your transactions are. They're looking at what you're sending and what you're receiving. So let's say, for instance, you send out $1,000 over the year. And let's say you bring in $10,000 over the year. They're going to look at that as $9,000 of unaccounted income. Well, it's going to be accounted for now because it's going to be on that 1099. That's what they're looking at. That's what they're looking at. It's not a thing of them saying, oh, every dollar you spend, I'm going to get a piece. Once we take a look and see what you sent out and what you bought in, just in transactions, in your cash flow, we can look and see, compare that to your W-2 and say, hey, here's what you paid in taxes from your job. What's all this other shit you got going on? You had 100 people send you $100 over a year. We want in on that. Yes. Thank you, Jason. They taxing you both ways. They're going to tax you and the person getting it to you. That's what it is. However you getting it, however you giving it, they want a piece of it. Shout out to Self-Made. Thank you so much, man. Shout out to Self-Made. Shout out to Self-Made. Shout out to Jason Gunn. Nigga, that's the funniest shit ever. I love that shit. But I'm just telling you, that's what it is. It's not a one-time thing. Jason, just go ahead and send it, man. You can send it to me, Doc. You can send it to me, bro. Let me figure that out. Let me worry about what I got to deal with the tax, because you going to send it anyway. Jason, you know good and doggone well, if your daughter say, Daddy, I need some money so I can get this such and such, you going to be like, okay, baby girl, I'm going to send it to you. You such a good daughter. That's what you going to do. What are you going to, just think about it like this. What are you going to do when it comes to you sending money to your child? Or as some YouTubers say, your child. You sending money to your child, or you worrying about the government? Man, I'm going to get that money to my baby girl. I'm going to get that money to my son. They have to survive. That's what you're going to do. You're going to send that money. It's like, and here's the thing. Most of the things that we have to do as the working class, the everyday, the lower middle class, the lower class, most of the stuff that we do as far as transactions is stuff we have to do. That ain't no fucking option. That ain't no thing where I could just say, oh man, look, baby girl, I'm gonna have to drive the money over to you. I ain't gonna be able to do that. My brother go to jail and he need bail money. My mama, I got to go bail your brother out, baby. Can you send me some money for the bail? I can't be like, well, look, my mama have to drive up from Texas. You got to wait till Monday so you can go and bail. I'm going to have to send it Cash App. I'm going to have to send it Zelle. I got to. I would be discounting Cash App, etc., going crypto to the moon. Here's the thing. Even like now, how some of these apps, like on Cash App, I didn't even know you could do this until I think it was Billy Goat or somebody that did it for me. Sent me some sent me like $4 or $5 in Tesla stock or something like that. They're gonna know that because it's going through Cash App. It's going through PayPal. If they send it that way, they're gonna be able to see it. And they're gonna look at that as a gain. Hey man, look, they somebody sent you $50 in Tesla stock, man. Yeah, you got to pay on that, partner. You're going to have to pay on that. All of these, because you got to look at it like this. All of these transactions have to be done by your bank at some point. Your Cash App is linked to a bank account. Your PayPal is linked to a bank account. Self-Made, Brian, you a hell of a nigga. I'm a hell of a nigga. See, y'all don't realize we all connected to something. We all connected to Cash App. We all connected to Zelle. We connected to something. And the fact that we connected to it, that means the government know we some hell of a niggas. And our white zaddy is coming for every dime, baby. They coming for it. They coming for that shit. And I'm telling y'all, and look at it like this, the only thing that's going to stop it is who? Who going to stop them? We got to deal with this shit for the next 3 years. For the next 3 years, all us niggas that's connected to something. All us niggas that's hell of a niggas. We all are going to get taxed on this shit in some shape, form, or fashion. They're going to know. Because of these accounts being tied to the whole key to this was getting the banks in, making the banks have to snitch. The banks having to snitch is exactly what they wanted to do. It's the perfect white boy tactic to get us to submit this shit. We're going to go after all the banks and make them submit all the transactions. That's exactly how this shit has worked out. That was the plan. How can we tax? It simply came up with, how can we tax people? How can we tax the people more money? Well, this is one of the ways that people have been getting away with doing. Well, who been getting away with it? Well, it's the little guy. It's the people who ain't really making that much money. It's the people who really ain't making that much money, but they're still getting extra money to live, to survive. That's what it is. Shout out to Amanda K. Shout out to Big Timer Gaming. Shout out to Amasia A. Now everybody's going to know. Well, not everybody, but now the government's going to know what everybody's spending. VC this. Shout out to Shelf Tax. That's what's happening. Shout out to Cashino. They all about to get a piece of this, and what they're gonna do is it's not a thing of saying, oh, they just gonna start turning this shit over. Y'all just gonna start paying. Nope, they're gonna find a way to actually tax that group of people that have had these transactions that have not been reporting it to the IRS. That's the whole game plan behind this. They're going to find a way to tax this percentage of transactions that's going back and forth to say, hey, yeah, you got to pay on that. We saw that you sent $60 to Nancy's nails, and yeah, Nancy got to pay on that. Nancy's got to pay on that. Did Nancy charge you tax? Nope. So you got to pay on that. That's how it is. That's exactly how it is. So I'm just telling y'all like this, before I wrap this on up, you got to look at it and just say, damn, if my government is doing this to me, do they really want me to succeed? Do they really want to be prosperous? Want me to be prosperous? Or do they want to just control everything in and out of my life that's coming in and out of my life? Your finances are essentially your life's blood to be able to do things in this world. And for that person that may be cutting grass on the side to try to make ends meet to feed their family, and yeah, they only may probably bring in, because they only cutting during the summer months, but they're working an extra job on the weekends to try to make this extra money so that they can literally feed their families. The government is saying, yeah, that little $5,000 you made, yeah, I'm gonna need 500 of that. Yeah, I'm gonna need 1,000 of that. Yeah, I'm gonna need $2,000 of that. That's income that you made. And even though it ain't that much, it's a drop in a bucket to us. We need it from you. That little bit of money that person's making on the weekends after they get off work, they just got home and they got to cut 3 heads tonight. And then on the weekends, they cut all day from 8 to 8. Or they cutting hair at night for 2 hours every night, ain't getting to bed till 11, 12 o'clock because they cutting everybody's head in their house, in their living room, or in their basement, or in their garage. And yeah, they might make $4,000 a year because they only doing it on the side because they can't do it full time because they don't have enough clientele to do it full time. Yeah, the government want that. That smaller government, lower taxes, it's all bullshit. That's why you need somebody like Trump to come and cut taxes. Well, he only cut taxes for the rich and for the business owners. Well, he did that so that they can create more jobs, so they can pay more people to work, so that they can have an increased economy. That makes the economy grow. You got to work for what you get. So when you spend what you got, you're helping the cycle. It's the circle of finance, like the circle of life. So I can only tell y'all this. I'm going to say 2 things and I'm out. Y'all have got to find a way, for those of you that are actual entrepreneurs, you got to find a way to get the money to make your business accounts to get your LLCs and all of that so that you can use your business as a tax write-off and write those things off, those expenses, whether you got paper and pen or you got to buy clippers every 2 months, whatever it is you got to do, you got to start doing that so that you can try to avoid your business from collapsing because you're going to be paying those taxes. I understand everybody want to grind and everybody want to get their money and do what they need to do, but you got to start doing it. You got to have that business mind 100%. Pay somebody to get you an LLC. I had to do it. But I was fortunate enough to be able to go along for these few years to where I could do it. Finally, thanks to y'all donations and thanks to my hard work, I was able to get to the point to where I could actually get my own LLC set up. But for every one of me that just did it, it's 1,000, 10,000 motherfuckers that can't do it and ain't did it. Y'all got to start figuring that shit out now. That's all it is. You got to figure it out. And I'm going to say this other thing too. For all of those people that voted the way that you voted, this is what you got. Jason Gunn said, shout out to Jason Gunn. Remember at the beginning of the pandemic, stores were not taking cash for a few days. That was a test. Hey, yep, because we didn't want to transmit the virus through the money. We only taking cash. You got to just swipe your phone. Definitely. It's all, you have to look at things for what they are, and I get it, but you got to also start seeing past where you at right now today. Why are they doing this? Start asking those questions. Start questioning what your government is telling you. Because I'm telling you, the last time I checked, my government ain't been there and been in place to just support and help me. They have not. They're taking for themselves. They went from, I'm going to take the steak and leave you the potatoes and the veggies, to now, I'm going to take the steak, I'm going to take some of this potato, and I'm going to take some of these veggies, and just wait till dessert. That's just what it is. And when you look at things, and I'm going to tell you like this, that's just the financial side. And I'm going to tell y'all, say what you want to say. Call me. Let me go ahead and zip my coon suit all the way up. But y'all better thank God that Trump put in those 3 Supreme Court justices. Because had he not, I'm telling you right now, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, whatever her name, Bader Ginsburg, whatever last name is, her dying was a blessing in disguise for us all. Because had she not, the hokey pokey would have been mandated. Had we had them in there, had we still had her, this thing would have went the other way. And it would have been straight up law that these hokey pokies would have been mandated. Would have been mandated. So I'm telling you, all the shit y'all be talking about, yeah, he did it. That move he made right there, that actually saved our asses from having to be forced to take that hokey pokey. Y'all just so say what you want to say. To all y'all people that love the hokey pokey, go right on ahead. Hokey pokey yourself to death. You get one every 6 to 8 months. Enjoy your life. Live your life. Hey. You steady chasing that paper? Go ahead and live your life. That's what you wanted? Great. But they almost made it to where we was forced to get it. So to them 3 new justices, thank you. Thank you for protecting my God-given right to say, no, I don't want that shit in my body. My right, my choice. That's all I ask for. And I think that everybody should be entitled to that. I think everybody should be entitled to that. For me, if I can choose to kill a baby, that I didn't create by myself, if I can choose to do that, I should be able to choose what goes in and out of my body. I'm just saying. And that's all I have to say about that. Yep, some of the people still got to get it, but they was trying to make it to where everybody. So thank you, everybody. To all of y'all that donated, I appreciate you guys. Everybody that clicked that like button, thank you guys so much. One more time, I'm going to say shout out to Amanda K. Shout out to Amazing A. Shout out to Jason Gunn. Shout out to Tommy Sotomayor. Shout out to Soto Nation. Man, I love doing this shit. I swear to God, I do. I appreciate you guys. Thank you all so much. Till next time, hey, y'all be safe and and I'm telling y'all do whatever y'all need to do to get yourself secured. These next 3 years, I don't know what's happening, but thank goodness we got this election coming up in March where we going to get back some of these seats. I'm so glad that whole entire Democratic Party is cannibalizing on itself. I'm so happy. I'm so happy that they're starting to eat their own. They're eating themselves apart. I'm just sitting back watching, hoping that they keep doing it. So y'all make sure that y'all vote. Y'all make sure that y'all get y'all business together. This is one of those things where, hey, you are now being forced to have your shit together so that you can do what you need to do to survive. Your survival is on the line here. It ain't just, it's just a little rough time here. This is your survival. That's all it is. That's all it is. Jim, please stop putting that nigga name in the chat. But that's all it is. You have to realize that. I just want to tell y'all, get yourself together. Do whatever you need. I'm telling y'all like this. Most of us, if you're doing anything, any type of service on the side, any type of business you want to try to start or think about starting, go ahead and get enough money together to where you can get your LLC and stuff together. Start doing your business tax returns. Start claiming everything you possibly can. Even if you don't have an app, you don't have software, write that shit down and start itemizing all of the shit you spend for your business. Keep your receipts when you go to lunch. Keep your receipts when you go stay at a hotel, even if you going to the lobby bar and you staying with another nigga. Keep that receipt. Keep it. When you go to the lobby bar, get your receipts for your drinks. Even though it's a date, you can call it up. You can claim it. When you sharing that hotel with that other nigga, hey man, keep that receipt. It's gonna help you in the long run. You gotta keep that shit. Yes, thank you, Nikki. Track your mileage in your vehicle. I'm telling you, you gotta do it so that you can help yourself in the long run. Cause I'm telling you, you gotta put this corporate mindset. You gotta get with that so that you can counteract some of this shit. Because if you just let it take over, it's going to take you over. I'm telling you that right now. So thank you guys so much. I love y'all. Thank you for supporting me. Shout out to everybody that supports me and my channel. Y'all be sure to subscribe to the United Guns of America. Peace. And until next time, I'm out. If I can push the button.
What's going on, everybody out there in the internet world? It's me, Brian Redmond, also known as the Relationship Rehab. And I need you to do two things. What are those two things? Subscribing to both my channels. I need you to go to the Relationship Rehab, subscribe to that channel, and then I need you to go to United Guns of America and go to that channel.
Shout out to the Relationship Rehab.
Why would I do that, Brian?
Shout out to the United Guns of America.
Channels on the internet. Come over there, give me your thoughts, give me your opinions, have conversations, because that's what it's all about.
Shout out to all the weak weasels out there.
Relationships, guns, law enforcement, community.
Shout out to Anthony T. Biz.
I'm willing to have a conversation about it. So
shout out to 24.
You don't have nothing else to lose.
Deluxe 24/7.
So come to my channel, subscribe ASAP, and join in on the fun. Twice the entertainment.
Shout out to everybody.
twice the fun. Come on and have a funky good time with your boy. Peace, and I'm out.
Shout out.